Hey guys, what is going on? I am the Noof Dog, and welcome back to some more Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess. That was an unusually twangy intro. Oh, yeah. So here we are in the Arbiter's grounds. We have found 3 out of the 4 of these Poes who stole the light from these torches in the hub room, and we have to kill the Poes so that the fires will return to the torches and open the way to open the way through that door to the second half of the temple. So there's a red rupee in this chest there, and this, I think, just leads back around to the main hub. Yeah, hello, Bubble. I'm laughing at you, because you have a hilariously unthreatening name despite being a rather creepy enemy. Yeah, that just leads back to the main room. I can't believe I forgot to get those chests in there. At least one of them has something pretty important, I think. Actually, the dungeon map is probably in there, now that I think about it. How did you... Are you kidding? You really got up... All these guys are getting up here, and wow, that was close. If I had fallen down there, I don't know that I would have... Oh, okay, I guess I might have made it over there. See, you move so slowly in the sand that unless you're very close to the next platform, it's quite possible that you just sink, and it's sort of like falling in lava when you sink in sand. You, take some damage and then respawn like at the beginning of the room or on the last platform you fell off of or something. So once again we have one of these chains that's controlling a chandelier. But this one, there's a couple things we can do. First off, we can try going past it so we can open this chest, which is a red rupee, which my wallet is already getting full. I think like halfway through this dungeon I might actually end up, Really? Really? Really, annoying little burrower thing? I'm just gonna keep saying really and being irritating, because you annoy the crap out of me, quite frankly. Oh sweet, I got the roll at the bottom there. That's probably the only thing that saved me from sinking into the sand there. You don't sink when you're rolling, but once you start to sink, you can't roll. So it's only when you first go into the sand that you can roll. And wow, the beginning of that chain was just like phasing through the floor. So now that we've gotten to the chest past here, what we actually want to do, pull this chain out a good bit and then stand on this spot. What? Mortal Draw? What? I guess it was just attacking one of the burrower things, but that's really silly. Actually, I don't really... Oh, I see, to push that crate out of the way. I was about to say, I don't think there was any point in going through that upper door out of the main room, but it was to push the crate out of the way, I get it. So yeah, we can climb up onto that chandelier if we let it fall around us, and jump over here. So, here's another room. Duh. I guess that is fairly obvious, you know. And here's a new... Okay, the door's gonna lock, and now he's gonna come to life. This is a new enemy. This is a Stalfos, which is an enemy that's been in, like, every single Zelda game, like, most of the enemies in this game, in all honesty. He's another one of these sort of tougher enemies that has a lot of health that we get to unload hidden skills on, which is pretty fun, I think. I think my favorite part of the combat in this game is fighting very tough enemies that you get to use those hidden skills on, because that just makes everything so much more interesting. It's more exciting than slashing through waves of tiny, weak foes. We can break into these things. Nothing particularly important in here. This is probably some rupees, I'm gonna guess. Bombs! Okay, well, that's also nice. In fact, that's probably worth more than, like, 20 rupees or something. And that's just another heart. But what we really want to do is open this chest. Actually, this might just be more like rupees or bombs. Yeah, it's bombs. See, the reason they're giving us bombs here is, as you probably noticed there, you need bombs to destroy the Stalfos. If you only destroy it with sword techniques, it will keep regenerating. You have to actually blow the bones up. I think this is a reference to a room from the Spirit Temple in Ocarina of Time, having the statue of a woman with a snake, and a puzzle with torches in front of it. I have to admit I don't fully understand this puzzle here. I mean, I know how to do it. I mean, I've lit that front torch, but then you just light this, and that opens the way. But if you light any of the other torches, enemies appear, but I don't really get how you're supposed to know that it's that torch. It's just sort of trial and error. And if you're coming through here, you're most likely to start at one side, meaning you might get lucky and get it the first time, or you might have to go through all these before you find the right one. So I don't know. I just think it's kind of weird. But it works out. Now that I know from my practice run which one is the correct one to do, we can just progress through here. And this is the room with the final Poe in it, so we want to be a wolf. Another of these things where there's lanterns on the wall. One of them is held by the Poe. But this guy's going to make things a little more interesting. So these Poes are a reference to the Poe sisters from the Forest Temple in Ocarina of Time. And this fight is also a reference to the fight against at least one of the Poe sisters that... Aha! You have to look for the one that glows brightly before they all attack. That's the real one that you can actually deal damage to. Oh yeah, if you lock onto them, this camera zooms out a bit, which can be handy for figuring out which is the real one. Come here. Nom 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 nom. Gotcha. And you're dead. Again. I guess, because you're a ghost. So you were already dead, you know. Alright. Sorry, I just got a text from my mother there. Boom! Just slightly off sync. Damn. Oh well. I've usually been doing a pretty good job of syncing my videos up like, perfectly lately, but then I keep having issues with like it skipping and stuff, and the audio getting slightly ahead. There was that one weird glitch where it slowed down for a while, but mostly it's just issues with skipping. And so that ends up being off sync, and it always seems to be harder to sync it after the skip than before. I don't know, it's annoying. So if we jump off here, there's a good chance we'll just end up in that sinkhole, so let's jump off in this direction. Oh god, what was I thinking of just a minute? Oh yeah, something exciting that happened today is I got my driver's license. Because for those of you who don't know, I'm 16, almost 17. My birthday is actually 3 days away as of this recording. This episode will upload on the day before my birthday. Which, by the way, I just realized I was forgetting to talk about this earlier. I was planning on doing a day where I uploaded 3 episodes to get back on track after having a day where I could only upload 1, but that ended up being too difficult, so I'm just having so I just did another day where I only uploaded 1 instead. I mean, I figure I'll be switching to only 1 episode per day once summer ends anyway, so... might as well sort of get used to it. So here's the dungeon map. We could have gotten this a lot earlier, but I just forgot about these chests in the main room. This is a pretty big dungeon. We've got these rooms way in the bottom, and these areas in the back, but we're done with the first, at least half of it by this point. It doesn't take too long to do if you have an idea of what you're doing already. And please don't let me sink here. There we go. Okay. That's a sinking platform, but it still bought me enough time to get out of the sand. Let's also eventually get whatever's in here, which is a piece of heart. Sweet. One of the better things you can get in this game. You know what? I think I'm doing this wrong. I think you're actually supposed to claw shot something to get across here. Oh, okay, but that works, just barely. But I might have, yeah, I would have been able to reach this with the claw shot. So anyway, all the flames have returned, and we can finally progress. Let us go into sort of the second half of Arbiter's grounds. And there's a flaming bubble. How does that even work? Both with these guys and with an actual bubble. If you do it quickly enough, you can land an ending blow on them, but usually what happens is they just move around. They just start bouncing around and you can't hit them. So there's all these gears in the floor with some sort of little thing here. where it looks like something could be inserted. And there's a hole in the wall where you can see the room behind there a little bit. And back here, there's a sinkhole that we can't get across, and what looks like the chest with the big key in it. But can't access any of that yet. Just gotta go to the left. The west, I suppose. Be the east if you were playing the GameCube version, where everything is reversed for some bizarre reason. Okay, this is a complicated and potentially slightly annoying room to go through. It's a giant vertical shaft, as you can tell, and yeah, I know. Vertical shafts, whatever. Just shut up. You're immature and you know it. Not that you care, I'm sure. And there's a whole bunch of these different little branching rooms. Some of them have passageways and stuff, and at least one of them has something mandatory. One of them has a small key. Okay, I might as well first show our sort of objective at the bottom, and then we'll see how we get to it. This is as far down as we can push this. So basically this is an elevator that we can move up and down with that. Link must be amazingly strong to be able to move this entire platform, even if he is using a whole bunch of mechanical stuff to help him out. The energy is still coming from him, so wow. Link is apparently really, really strong. But, obviously that door's locked, so gotta move around here, look for the... Yeah, I'm 16, but I will be 17 very soon. 3 days as of this recording. There's this key. Will be only 1 day when this uploads. Yeah, we couldn't have entered that from that side. And I've had my learner's permit for just over a year, and today we went to the DMV and I took a test and passed and got a temporary license. Pretty soon the plastic one will come in the mail. Now I'm just carrying around a piece of paper. But yeah, I drove home from somewhere by myself for the first time in ever, so kind of cool. I don't need to worry about having a car. Something sort of stereotypical for teenagers to want their parents to buy them. God, we actually had 3 cars at one point, and I mean that's not even counting my dad, who doesn't live with us. That makes me sound like some kind of rich, snooty person, but we had my mom's car, and then is there even a path behind here? I don't even know. We had my mom's car, and then we bought a car from a friend cheaply with stick shift, or automatic rather. My mom likes stick shifts. We want automatic transmission to practice on, so we bought one cheaply from a friend who was moving away, but then my grandpa lost his license and gave us his old truck. So we had 3 cars for a bit, and so we sold the car from the friend, and now I've been practicing on Grandpa's old truck, which smells like cigarettes, but oh well, what are you gonna do? It's a car, right? And now I can pretty much drive it around wherever. So this room is sort of a maze of these spots in the floor where spikes can potentially come up, except for, like, the first half of the room. None of them apparently actually have spikes. But yeah, we just gotta find the ones that find a path through where there aren't spikes. It's just trial and error. We don't have to... Oh yeah, and one other thing. There are ghost rats in this room. Yeah, see, Link will start moving really slowly as though we have, like, the iron boots on if there are ghost rats. And this is kind of annoying because you want to be in human form for this room. I think. Actually, that might not be necessary. Let's see what happens if we just stay a wolf. God damn it. Get off! Stupid rats. Right, okay, we've got this spot over here, and then... Ouch. That was dumb. I say you can get past those without getting hurt, or, you know, figure out where those are without getting hurt, but it does require a little bit of skill, which I apparently lack. Let's kill this Reed Knight. They're easier as a wolf anyway. So what we've got to do here is first get off these freaking rats. Then we've got to sort of memorize the route around from here where the door is to where that chain with the handle was a minute ago. The quickest route through there that doesn't involve spikes. And we pulled the chain. That's gonna pull out this door. Apparently I messed up pulling it out, so I have to wait for it to go back in before I can start pulling it again. Okay. Zelda physics. Yeah. Let's run. Hopefully not be weighed down by 5 million rat spirits. Okay. There are 5 million rat spirits. Okay, there was just one. But yeah, got through there. Now, let's be human again. Now, there are these checks on the wall with rotating blades on them. We don't want to get hit by those, because they're painful and horrible. And there's also swarms of small bugs, like cockroaches or something. Disturbing. But we can kill them, so it's all good. Suddenly I'm reminded of every horrifying bug-related thing I've ever seen. Here's Zuko. Phew, free at last. Gracious, you're that nice fellow who helped me out there. I say this stuff every time. I'm a chicken. That's a turkey noise. Never mind. Well, I think I got the episode title sorted out. Let's go on through here. Where are we here? Looking at this. Okay. We've really gotten through most of this dungeon. This is not that long a dungeon. It's big and kind of complicated. It can be hard if you're like coming through here the first time and you don't really know what you're doing. But it's not really that hard to get through once you've done it before. Can we get through this the other way? Yeah, we can if we're only trying to get through one. Alright, there's some Stalfos here. We can actually reduce them to a pile of bones again with a bomb. Or we can mortal draw them. Aw, you're not gonna be hit by the bomb? No. Get out of the sand. Shield attack him. Helm splitter. Bomb. Rope. Lamp oil. There's also a Stalfos back here, and I messed up the timing on the rolling and didn't get it, but it doesn't matter. Still made it across the sand. And bombs. Really? Ah, rolling mechanics. How strange you are. So once we've killed all the Stalfos, that gate's gonna open. Episode's gonna be a little long, but I'm actually gonna wait until we've gotten the item in the dungeon, because that's coming fairly soon. Ho ho ho. I believe there's some more bugs gonna be chasing after us here. We can pretty much avoid them. Jump across here. And we're up on this platform. Then nice. We just want to go through here. We've stumbled into a million anime cliches, I'm afraid. What is with the Japanese and these, like, slips of paper tag things? I don't know. So some ancient Eastern tradition that we Westerners know nothing of, because we're so ignorant, I guess. And there's this sword bound by them. But what we want to do is actually cut one of these ropes. And the sword is going to glow ominously. Is that... Those look like the runes you see in the Elder Scrolls games. Is that a Daedric sword? Then I will take it. I freaking love this mini-boss. It's really not that hard, but I think it's a really cool fight. So, the sword appears to just be floating right now, but if we transform, we can see it's actually being held by an invisible spirit. Mostly invisible. I mean, use sense mode. And, sort of like the pose, he'll glow brightly when he attacks, so we can jump on him and nom him. I just like how ugly and creepy looking this guy is. He doesn't look like your standard Zelda design. So he's gonna start sort of flying around after you do enough damage to him. And so you want to be a human again and hit him with an arrow. I'll start doing that. Oh, wow, that was derpy. And then you want to hit him with an arrow again when he gets close. Hit his head. He's really not too difficult. Just have to have a little bit of timing and be able to use the bow decently. Wow, I've not shot anyone. Yeah, I kind of like all the creepy motifs they've got going in this dungeon. I tend to like the creepy dungeons in Zelda games. I mean, some of them like, oh, huh, I didn't even realize he did that. I never gave him the chance to do that in my practice run. Some of the creepy dungeons were, like, scary for me when I was a kid, or some of them are rather hard and gave me trouble, like the Shadow Temple in Ocarina of Time. But I like all the sort of horror stuff that you don't normally see in Nintendo games. I used to think he was dissolving into bats there, but they make a sound like bugs. So I don't know. Either one would be rather creepy. I find the bugs a lot more disturbing, though. I'm not really scared by bats. Although it is annoying when they get in your house. We've had a few issues with that before. This house has some places that are not well sealed off from the outside world, and we've had bat problems with bats in the attic, and they're annoying. Generally, though, I like bats because they eat mosquitoes, and I hate mosquitoes. I hate mosquitoes because they apparently love me. You got the spinner! An ancient machine designed to float over land. Set it to B on the minus screen and hop on with B for a smooth ride even over sand. Press B while on board to attack enemies with spin power! Oh yeah. Spin power. I'm gonna take off the, so this is the item from this dungeon, the spinner. I love the spinner. I think it's really cool. Basically, if we use it while we're on the ground, it doesn't last that long. It sort of gradually loses momentum and comes to a stop. But if we're on rails, it won't lose momentum, and we can jump between the rails with B. And it helps us get over large areas of sand. I think a spinner is pretty cool in concept, but the problem is it's one of those areas that you really have to have areas built around its use. And with a couple exceptions, you really only see those areas like that in this dungeon. And you get the spinner, I didn't mean to do that, you get the spinner relatively late in this dungeon, so it doesn't really see that much use in the game, but I still think it's a really cool item. And we're going to be doing a bit more with that in the next episode of Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess. Goodbye from the Nufferdog.